What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 68, and this is the finale. In this one, we're going to be finishing off everything, and I'm going to be talking about the train tunnel a little bit briefly. I don't show much of it, but yeah, that is all. So, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alright, we have a lot to do, so let's get right to it, shall we? Get out the following materials to start. Strip warp stems. Strip mangrove logs. Iron bars. Stone brick walls. Bamboo signs. Yellow terracotta. Sea lanterns, glow item frame, and light gray concrete. Sure, why not? So starting off, I want to get these barrels out of the way. On the far right side of this first platform up here, you want to actually break the trapdoors on the side here and place a strip warp stem in place of the front one and a strip mangrove log in place of the back one. Above the warp stem, you'll place another mangrove log. Underneath the front set of monster spawners, you want to go, I believe it's right to left or left to right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You want to place an iron bar, stone brick wall, iron bar, stone brick wall, 2 iron bars, stone brick wall, iron bar, stone brick wall, iron bar, and then extend all that down to the ground. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am, for the most part, I'm hoping that this should be the end of this build, but you do never know. Probably not. It seems like it never wants to leave, so. Cool. On the middle 2x3 of iron bars, you want to take the top right one and place a bamboo sign on it, along with the middle left one. Underneath the left 2 most blocks of this fence, you want to break the stone and replace it with yellow terracotta. Extend the right yellow terracotta, back by 3, and then left by 1. On the stone in the center here, you'll place 3 light gray concrete on either. We can't do anything with that yet, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. As in, after one more step. Opposite wall on this light gray concrete pillar on the 3rd block up, you'll place a sea lantern with a glow item for a minute. You now can clear your inventory and get out the following. We're going to go a little bit rapid fire here. Warp buttons, mangrove buttons, pale oak trapdoors, pale oak fence, mangrove planks, mangrove stairs, warp planks, warp stairs, and we'll need bamboo planks and bamboo stairs. I'm gonna get out the planks and we'll just get out the stairs once we use the buttons here. So on this 2x3 of light gray on the top row, you want to place pale oak trapdoors open up against the light gray. On the middle row, you'll place a mangrove button on the left, warp button on the right. Directly above this right half, just off this light gray concrete pillar, you're going to place pale oak fence going all the way up. If you have this issue with this trapdoor here, I actually have these 2 inverted, so this one's on the outside and this one isn't, but I'm just going to break it and call it a day because I'm not doing all that right now. But, well, I don't need the pale oak fence actually, so yeah, I'll fix it. These trapdoors should be on the monster spawners, and these should not be. Generally, I always just have it going every other, so it kind of throws me off when it isn't. Like in a corner like this, I try to stick to inside rather than outside. Anyway, since I already got rid of the pale oak fence, I'll get out bamboo stairs. But I'd recommend having these stairs and planks next to each other, so I'm just going to push everything else forward and have the stairs at the far back. From the yellow terracotta, this back corner here, is it back corner? Let me see. No, we'll take the yellow terracotta in front, and just right of it, you'll have a mangrove plank. Leaving a gap of 4 going right of that yellow warp plank. You're going to copy these, or do the same thing on both these. Make sure you know it's just like they're inverted, kind of. So bring each plank up with a stair of the same kind. Back with a plank. in with a plank, back with a stair, and then down with a plank, and it should give you this. There's a lot of inversion going on here. In line with the like center row of planks here, on the left side you want to place at the, it should be the third brick up, you'll place an upside down bamboo stair facing in. On the right side, an upside down mangrove stair, which should be behind that sea lantern as well. Again, this is inverted on both sides. You'll extend these stairs up, or upside down stairs up with stairs. Then you'll go up with a Sorry, in with an upside down stair again. I don't know what I'm doing. Up with a plank. Up with a stair facing forward. Then you want to go back by 4 with planks. Back diagonally in by 1. Then back by 3. Then back diagonally in by 1. And that's where you should stop. Is that all? Do we want to do all the pipes that are the planks? Honestly, sure. I'm not opposed to that. There's not an insane amount, but literally I think all of these larger pipes, or the thicker ones, are symmetrical. So we do have that going for us. But you want to take a little bit higher where these started. It's going to be, you want to take this, I think it's the backmost catwalk section. Yeah, this one right here. The second cobble deep say wall above it on both sides above the trapdoors specifically, you want to break and replace with a bamboo plank on both sides. Again, it's just inside of a sea lantern. Why is it the sea lanterns that are getting bullied? You'll go in with an upside down bamboo stair, then up with 3 planks, up with a stair facing forward, and then you're just going to go all the way back with bamboo planks through everything until you physically can't see it anymore. You're going to have to break things for this part. Nice. From this point, we can direct our attention a little bit more forward. And if we actually head back to the original like staircase here, you want to take the, what is it, the second? It'll be the second slab set here. And I guess you'll just alternatively take the bricks either side of it, and the 6th one's up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the right side, you want a warp plank. On the left side, you want a mangrove plank. Extend either one in with an upside down stair. Then up with 5 planks. Up with a stair facing backward. That is not backward. Then forward with 3 planks. Forward diagonally in 1. And then forward 1, which will have to break a cobble deep set wall for. Is that all of this? Yep, that is all of this. So, we can clear our inventory and get out the following. Bamboo fence. Monster spawners. Mangrove fence. Andesite walls. Andesite blocks. Then the following fence gates. You want dark oak, mangrove, and warped. And also stone blocks, which is like the huge thing that we have to do. That's going to get in our way the entire time, but it's fine. So between these two like pipes here, you want to go back diagonally in with bamboo fence. These ones behind the like bar fence. It's these kind of weird N-shaped ones. Extend up from each fence with another fence, and then a monster spawner. Extend either monster spawner back by 3, and then place bamboo fence connecting those end ones down to the ground. To the left of this back, or I guess forward diagonally left from that bamboo fence, you want to place 4 mangrove fence extending up right there. You'll then extend from that top one left, forward, down 3. From this like top portion, you want to take this corner fence and extend it up by 1. Left by 2 into the wall, and also from this one, you'll go back 1, so you're under this bamboo fence. Right 1, and then up by 4. From that top mangrove fence, you'll connect all the way forward with warp fence gates. They will end up blocking off that like corner of this catwalk. That is fine. At the very front though, you do want to place a mangrove fence. So you don't want to connect the fence gates into the wall. Just like so. Oh yeah, because of the andesite wall there, right? That makes sense. Extend this mangrove fence both up and down by 1, and the top one you'll bring all the way back with mangrove fence gates on top of the warp fence gates until you are 1 or 2 shorter than the warp fence gates length back. Should be right there. On that second to last one, you'll place another mangrove fence. You can then get rid... can we get rid of anything? Yeah, you can get rid of your monster spawners and get out bamboo fence gates. And you want to take which portion of it? You want to take the entire row of warp fence gates, actually, and extend it left with a row of bamboo fence gates. Which, yeah, you're going to have some problems placing some things here. I do apologize. This room is just jam-packed with pipes. And at the front side here, you're going to want to stop... basically 1 before you hit the cobbled deep side walls, which is right there, because then you'll place a mangrove fence and just connect it into the wall, like so. From the back bamboo fence gate here, you want to actually just connect it all the way back into the walls, or whatever. I hope it connects into a block, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it does. Cool. Okay, that's enough of that, man. That should be all of the pipes on the bottom half of this room, though. Other than, I guess, that, but that's kind of a weird symmetrical thing anyway, so we're not worried about that. Okay, well, there is actually iron bars, so get rid of your bamboo fence gates and get out iron bars, and at the back here to the right, basically where this mangrove plank weird pipe is here, just to the right of it off of this cobbled deep slate block row, you're going to place iron bars going all the way up until you connect into the bamboo planks here. Now, we can finally do the big thing. Between or behind the bamboo fence for this little, like, catwalk, I don't know what this is, but it's here. You want to leave a gap of 1 and place 2 andesite walls behind either. Extend each wall up by 1. Then up with andesite blocks. Then 2 walls, then andesite blocks, and then only the front row blocks will bring up with walls. On this center set of walls here, this like front 2x2, off the bottom left one, you'll place a mangrove fence gate open into it. Bottom right, a dark oak fence gate open into it. Top right, a warped fence gate open into it. On top of the andesite walls here, you want to place stone, and I'm going to extend it up diagonally forward by like 3, just so we have some space to work with here. And so from this point, you want to take the stone and extend either side back diagonally out with stone, back by 2, and then back diagonally in by 1, which will give you this kind of oval shape. This oval shape will be copied diagonally going all the way in both directions until you're through the wall pretty much entirely. So you see if I take this bottom stone here, I'm actually going to keep bringing this diagonally back. And eventually it's going to break through the like actual wall itself. You want to make sure you're breaking the wall because, at least in the situations where you should be, because it just kind of helps the pipe more smoothly transition into the wall. So like 3, and then it'd be 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I have to somehow get around these and on the top of it. Yeah, you're not gonna particularly enjoy placing some of these, but it's fine. And so yeah, just kind of make sure that you're working around everything nicely, and then just going up, you're gonna keep going diagonally. And in theory, you shouldn't hit anything. You'll get close to hitting things, but you won't actually hit anything. It's the perfect angle. Well, not actually perfect. I mean, I don't want to say it is perfect, but it worked pretty much as I wanted it to with everything. So it's not an angle worth complaining about, I'll say. But yeah, the front wall I'm actually not going to break into. I only did with the walls because they're walls. Did I break into the front, actually? I should double check that. No, I don't. Generally, I only break into the walls with the weird, like, non-flat surfaces like that. But yeah, here I'll just kind of, you know, stop it. And yeah. Then we'll pretty much be done this room, actually. There's a couple, I think, minor things. Well, there's one other pipe that goes around this one, and then it's texturing, and I think we're done this part. But I'm not entirely sure on that. Texturing this pipe is like the same rust we've been doing. It's just a little bit different since it's stone rather than deep slate or whatever. Cool. Looks kind of weird without any texturing, but again, we'll get to that in a sec. Closer to the bottom is where we have really all of our texturing. There's also, is there one pipe up here? Wow, there's one pipe. Splendid. But basically, where you have the warp fence gates here, on top of this back one, you're going to place an andesite wall and extended right by 3. You're pretty much wrapping it around here, so you're extending it back on either side by 1, then out, and then just all the way back. And if you want to go in one, you can, but I don't. I really wonder what this pipe carries. What do we need a pipe this big for, genuinely? What are you transporting? I feel like actually it's better to not know. Anyway, on the bamboo pipes here on either side, you want to take, out of the 3 planks, like the vertical planks, in front of the center one, you'll place an andesite wall. You'll extend it out by 1, which you'll have to break the cobble deep slate for, along with in by 1. From the innermost one, you'll extend all the way back until you hit the wall again. That is everything but 1 pipe. So, if you get out bamboo slabs, you can head to the opening here on the wall, and which is basically where we're leaving the room. And what you can do is in line with the extra 3rd block of the opening, you want to actually break these cobble deep slate slabs to the left and replace them with upside down bamboo slabs. I'm going to bring it all the way into the corner, and I'm also going to kind of bring it diagonally in, so it is going around that wall nicely. Cool. One more thing that I almost forgot about, but I didn't, so we're fine. This area down here, this little, like, just this random off branch, you want the following. Pale oak fence, mangrove fence, iron bars, and black concrete. Immediately in front of the door, you're going to place 2 pale oak fences here on the ground. Iron bar in the top corner. If you're kind of looking from the angle that I am, where I'm looking back at this wall to where the door's to the left, right of the iron bar, I'll place a mangrove fence and extend it down by 1. This door you want to black off from the outside. I'm going to go back up and go out through here, and again, you know the drill where you kind of surround the block surrounded with black concrete, and then a block outside of that, you fill it in just so the walls don't connect. But yeah. Cool. That should be everything pipe-wise done. I don't think there's anything else. As for texturing, there's a lot of it, so you're gonna have to bear with me here. I'm just gonna, like, not rapid fire fully, but I'm gonna give you just the blocks per, well, block. It's the same thing that we've been doing with the kind of, you know, the droopy pattern. For the light gray concrete pillars, it is stone, andesite, and light gray wool. For the bricks, it is dripstone blocks. Where is dripstone? Somewhere in here. But that's what it is. I can't find it for some reason. Oh, it's right there. It is polished granite, and it is regular granite. For the cobble deep slate, both walls and blocks, it is polished blackstone, deep slate tile, polished deep slate, and deep slate brick. And that should be all. Stone, you know the drill for. The pipe I'll explain in a sec. Again, same like droopy thing as per usual. What was I going to mention? Oh, there was something I wanted to mention. They're in the order that I mentioned them. And also, I have some, at least for like the stone and light gray. Or the brick and light gray, I mean. Underneath, like, where you have the staircase here, I'll have, like, a little bit of granite, maybe, just under some of the catwalks and stuff, just to make it, you know, Look like there's stuff growing there too. I do that in a couple rooms, but I really don't do it that often. It was kind of just a sometimes thing. Ceiling isn't textured. The pipe is... I'm just going to hit you with the blocks. It's andesite, rooted dirt, granite, waxed weathered copper? Wax exposed copper, excuse me. Weathered is green. I keep getting those confused. And iron ore. So basically, you can kind of figure out which one you think is the most pink. I'd say like granite should be the middle, then maybe the copper, then the dirt, then the iron ore, then the andesite. So basically, if you just like place a granite somewhere, place copper around some edges, maybe rooted dirts on the other, and then just kind of like iron ore and andesite sprouted around the outside of that. Something like that. I think a lot of iron ore is always better. I've talked about that a couple times just because, especially when you have the stone texture or the deep slate texture, to be able to use them is very nice. But yeah, just something like that. And you want a couple streaks of those, not really too many. I have like 4 maybe? 4 quite large, but they're mainly on the bottom. Top isn't really all that textured. And yeah. Have fun with the texturing in this room. I don't know about you, but I can't be bothered to do all that. So I'm going to keep going myself. This area is the next part. Start by getting out the following. Bricks. Cyan terracotta. Light gray concrete. Monster spawners. And we're not going to get out the pale oak trapdoors yet, actually. This is a thing that I didn't do this way, but I'm going to get out a block of redstone here. Item frames, cobbled deep slate slabs, bamboo slabs, and we'll go andesite walls, sure. So if you start by taking the brick on the left side here, you should have technically 1 brick because of the corner, but that isn't really important. I'm just saying that to stall so I can count this number. You want to extend out with 11 bricks from any of them. Then a light gray concrete, and then you'll leave a gap of 2, which I'll just place monster spawners for now. Light gray concrete, 2 bricks, light gray concrete. From the opposite side, it's all bricks. The only thing is that the final light gray concrete is also on this side. Don't really know why, but a block back from this end wall, you'll just connect them together with cyan terracotta. The walls are more than 4 tall, funnily enough. They go 2 lower than the distance we broke down. So you see here I have this one, and you'll go, I guess, 3 up from where I am, along with 2 down. So you have, what is that, 6? Is that what I said? Yeah, well, if I did say it, that was what I said. But if I didn't say it, then it is 6. I don't know, I kind of forgot. I got lost in this sauce. This part shouldn't be too hard. The last area is a little bit more annoying, but... yeah, and again, since it seems like we are finishing in this one, do stay till the end, because there's a lot that is important to talk about, including PPT3, woohoo! As to what my plans are with that right now, and like what's going on, because I haven't worked on it in a while, actually, as of doing this. I'm sure by the point that you're seeing, or by the time this part is public, it'll, you know, have been picked back up to some capacity, but I don't know. You should have this. The floor and ceiling are both cyan terracotta, block above and below the walls. You do want to fill within this doorway here when you do this as well. The, like, opening, I guess, is technically not a doorway. But I'm calling it a doorway. Just like so. Exciting to be done this. Now I can move on to bigger and better thing. Well, not bigger. I'll say definitely not bigger. Anything but that. Okay, cool, you should have this. That's the blank hallway. You'll extend the monster spawners all the way out until you're in line with this hole, where you'll just bring them left so they're kind of in line with it. We're not going to place the trapdoors yet because they kind of hinder our movement here, so yeah. The bamboo slab here on the left, you want to extend back an additional 3. Place an andesite wall. 4 bamboo slabs that are still upside down. Andesite wall. Extend up by 1. Then back with regular bamboo slabs all the way till you hit the wall. Of the 2 sets of andesite walls, the back set, which is the one that's too tall, you'll extend the top andesite wall right 2, forward 1, right 1. Before we actually worry about the other one, you want to leave a gap of 1 in front of that point and place 2 rows of upside down cobbled deep set slabs crossing. Then this andesite wall directly in front of that, you'll just extend up by 1. So for the lights in this part, I ended up originally doing like stairs. I just granite stairs that had redstone torches behind them and item frames off the front. So a little bit of light shine through. Vibrant Visuals has made blocks of redstone glow. I don't have it on right now, so you can't see it. So I actually am going to use redstone here, plus I think it looks better anyway. So on the right side here at eye level, you want to take the 4th brick over, break it, replace it with a block of redstone with an item frame off of it. At the very end here on this cyan terracotta wall, if you take the like top right ceiling block, you'll count toward you diagonally left by 1 and place a block of redstone. I don't actually have an item frame off the underside of this, but I'll place one here just because it makes sense to. You can clear your inventory, and we need 3 things to finish this particular part. And stone brick walls. Bamboo fences, I lied, you need 4. Iron bars, and pale oak trapdoors. So on this back wall, out of the 4 rows, and specifically out of the middle 2, you want to take the left one and just place sandstone brick walls going floor to ceiling. You'll take the top right of this wall and place 3 walls extending down, and then 1 to the left. Leave a 2-block gap in front of this bottom end stone brick wall, and you're going to place extending forward 3 bamboo fences. Extend left by 2. In addition, from this corner, you'll go forward another 4 bamboo fences, and then left by 1. From the 3rd to last bamboo fence on this row, you want to trace it over and place 2 iron bars extending up. The top iron bar you're going to end up bringing all the way forward until you connect into the light gray. Next step is bringing the pale oak trapdoors back. Now, when you bring them back, you want to try to keep them on the monster spawners even around the turn. Basically, okay, now that's kind of a dumb way to say it, because obviously you can't. When you take the, like, inside, which is the left, it'll just kind of go around this corner and, you know, stay here. On the back side, you're going to place them off the monster spawners, open towards them, until you hit this light gray, where you're going to place it off the light gray, kind of inward like so. You could also just make the corner stick out, but it's up to you, however you do it. I didn't really particularly think about it too much. Clear your inventory again and get out the following: bricks, cyan terracotta, cobbled deep slate walls, gray concrete, light gray concrete. Oh yeah, this room has some texturing. Black concrete, dark oak trapdoors. I actually forgot I did that, I'm not gonna lie. Andesite. And we'll go pale oak fences for now. So through this doorway, let's look back at the wall that we're on. And you want to place basically bricks off the light gray concrete rows on either side. You want to take the cyan terracotta for the ceiling and extend it out a row. And then from the end there, you'll go up by 3 rows. I'll bring the bricks up to the same height. The bricks should also go... There should be 6 rows directly below the monster spawners. Now, because the monster spawners aren't far enough out, you kind of have to inference. So, like, the monster spawners would be here, so you're going to go 6 under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. You will end up wanting 3 rows of bricks off either side of the monster spawners, and again, you'll have to inference since we already have 1, you'll be adding 2 more. Hopefully that makes enough sense. Like so. Off of the 2 rows of bricks directly outside the center, you'll place cobbled deep safe walls off of... I guess it's the 4 in total, because it's 2 on either side. Which will give you this. Off of the top cobbled deep safe walls, just outside of them, you'll place andesite and extend them towards you X amount of blocks. I'm not going to go a specific number because I'm not going to give you the number for the room length right now, but I'll just go like that far. But you might just have to bring that further, not depending on. On both sides underneath that andesite row, you're going to come out, and we'll do the wall pattern here. You're going to extend out with 7 cobbled deep safe walls. Then 2 cyan terracotta, and you're doing this on both sides. Then 7 more cobbled deep safe walls. And you'll place a cyan terracotta on the end, which you want to bring up by 1. And then the andesite will end up connecting into that cyan terracotta, and it won't go any further. If you add it further, just trim it down. It's not a huge deal. You can bring the rows, or bring the cobbled deep safe walls out on either side with rows of light gray concrete. This is kind of where it might get a little bit odd, but you have to just bear with me. Extend each light gray concrete down with 2 light gray concrete, a gray, 7 light gray concrete, gray, and then a light gray concrete. And you can check to make sure that's the same height as your brick, which it should be. And yeah, the texturing with the light gray here is something, alright. I tried to almost have it textured 2 ways at once, and it was just... It didn't work perfectly, but it worked enough to where I am leaving it in the tutorial the same way, and I'm not going to try to change it at all, but... I don't even know if I'd recommend texturing it that way. I'd honestly just make the light gray stone to begin with and call it a day, but it's up to you what you want to do. Just throwing out the options there. But yeah. I'm adding the extra row for fun. And then... Really, this room, I mean, the texturing is probably the worst part of the room, I would say. Nothing else is bad. That does not look like a square. It's a square, I swear. But for some reason, it just does not look like one to me. But I for some reason thought this part would be, like, worse than it's gonna be. Oh, yeah, the command block. I destroyed that. Whoops, I probably should have left it so I knew the test 4 number, but... I can take a guess at it. I think it's like 3 or something. Anyway, should have this. The cyan terracotta, at least these like rows of 2 in the center of the walls will bring all the way down. The ones at the back leave alone for now because we have to do something different with those. Nice. You can then take the... Basically the rows of... Well, the rows of gray concrete actually first. And you want to place cobbled deep safe walls off of them. Off of each side of the gray concrete, you'll take the ends of the light gray concrete rows and place dark oak trapdoors open up against them. Try to keep the trapdoors open the same way. And again, you're going above and below the cobbled deep sites, so... Or the gray concrete cobbled deep site wall, whatever. 1 second, almost there. Make sure it is only the ones with the gray concrete, because then you'll end up screwing up the top if you don't. You'll then kind of... Oopsies, that one's fake, isn't it? Oh, no, it is real. Whoops. You'll go diagonally, like, in with dark oak trapdoors that are opened up against the light gray still. And you see here at the top, they'll just do it the once going up. The top ones will go down as well, and eventually... I don't believe you. Eventually, they'll end up meeting at a 1 block center. Okay, so that one might have been messed up, but it's fine. It's not like this will ever see the light of day ever again anyway. But yeah, eventually you'll just create these X's with them. Which will look, you know, alright. That's about how I felt finishing the actual chapter 2 originally. Like, just please, we're almost there. Fill in the bottom of this area with black concrete, a block below the bottom of the walls. I'm gonna go one block further back, though. You'll more so see why later. Is that... catastrophic mistake. I have a deep set, or a cyan terracotta where I shouldn't have a cyan terracotta. It's so over. GG's. The ceiling is cyan terracotta, and you want to do the same thing where it's a block above the heights of the walls, and it also goes one further. Well, actually, no, you're just going to go in line with those rows of cyan terracotta we placed on the sides. I guess it still is one further, but it's in line with that, so. You should have this. You can get rid of your cobbled deep slate walls. And actually just clear your inventory. I don't care. And get out the following. We didn't use the pale oak fences. So get out pale oak fences. Cyan terracotta. Deep slate brick walls. Yellow concrete. Cyan concrete. Endstone brick walls. Black stained glass panes. Black concrete. And block of redstone. So if we take the cyan terracotta here at the end, these two rows, you want to extend them in by one. Place deep slate brick walls inside of the cyan terracotta along with below it. And then you'll end up extending these corners of deep slate brick walls just all the way down, and they should hit the black concrete floor in theory. And what are they, 2 blocks apart? Yeah. The deep slate brick walls on these sides here, you'll extend down with 4 cyan terracotta, deep slate brick wall, 4 cyan terracotta, deep slate brick wall, and then you'll end with a cyan terracotta. Like so. I would also place a cyan terracotta outside of the deep slate brick wall rows just so they don't leave holes. You want to take the... out of the 3 sets that go out, you'll take the middle set of deep slate brick walls, and you should be able to place a placeholder block of some kind, and then place a cyan concrete behind pretty much either of them, like so. The cyan you'll extend out a row, we probably could have started with that, and then you'll bring those, each of the, I guess, end cyans up with 4 deep slate brick walls. I'm going to connect these deep slate brick walls above them together. I've said deep slate brick walls too many times. And then extend those back with cyan terracotta, which will go on top of the side rows as well. I'll place yellow concrete behind these sides here and connect it together at the top. And bring the cyan concrete in the floor back a row. This entire 2x3 will be filled in with endstone brick walls, except for the middle right, which is a black stained glass pane. If you know how to black off this door, just get it out of the way right now. The black concrete around the edges and whatever. You could technically structure block the game station here and then have the train track here. That would give you probably enough space to make... well, no, because we're lower, I guess. So you wouldn't have enough space to go down for play care. But if you wanted to connect chapter 3 in that sense, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think about it in opposed to mine right now. And that should be that. I'll fill in the top here with cyan terracotta along with below where these deep slate brick walls would connect. But make sure this bottom set does connect and that you kind of have this going on right now. The gaps that you have, don't worry about. They will end up getting filled in, although... yeah, they will be. You can technically, like, bring the cyan back or place black behind those walls or something. Whatever. In the ceiling, it'll be the second block off the wall. You'll break the center 2 blocks and place blocks of redstone with item frames underneath. Again, same thing. These would be stairs of granite with item frames off of them. And then I'd have blocks above it with redstone torches just like off the sides of one of the block rows. So, the rows of cobbled deep slate walls on these sides here, this top row specifically, you want to place pale oak fences off of on both sides. They'll just kind of not connect into anything except for the, I guess, cyan terracotta. But they won't really connect into the cobbled deep slate walls, even though they technically should. You can then clear your inventory, and you need monster spawners and pale oak trapdoors. And you just want to bring the monster spawners all the way through until they, you know, connect into this area. And you see if you still have this gap here, what do I actually do for that? I would just, like, place cyan terracotta below this concrete, so basically just kind of behind the deep slate brick walls here. And I'll do it like that. Almost seal it off entirely. Since you have to do that for lighting anyway, it won't really hurt to just do it for all of them. And you see if I check now, the hole is gone. I mean, there's still a hole, but not as bad. And then off the monster spawners, you'll place the pale oak trapdoors open outward. Texturing in this area. I'm already going to get a head start in the conversation. We'll do that first, and then we'll do the command. It's for the brick, it's granite. For the cyan terracotta, it's gray concrete powder. For the cobbled deep slate walls, it's deep slate tile walls. And for the deep slate brick walls, it's polished blackstone brick walls. For the light gray concrete, we have some weird things going. It's stone, andesite, along with separately light gray wool and light gray concrete powder. So I'll do the 7x7 because that one will make more sense. You basically, from the bottom, will have the light gray wool and concrete powder coming up. The wool is the base block. Well, I guess actually I kind of have it interchangeable. It doesn't really seem like there's any sort of consistency to it. Something maybe like, it seems like I have wool as the top one mainly. Oh yeah, because concrete powder is concrete powder, right? Forgot about that. And then from the top, I have stone into andesite coming down. So, you know, do what you will with that information. Kind of like that, almost. Whether you love it or hate it is up to you. I think it kind of has a nice effect. I've tried to do that a couple times as well. I did it for somebody else's map, actually, and it turned out as probably one of the best pieces of texturing I've ever done. Of course, it wasn't my own map, though, so, you know, that is unfortunate for me, but good for that guy. Anyway, if you head to the outside, I can explain how to do the command. So you want to do... Let me make sure I don't have a command block on me. I probably do, yeah. I'm just going to eat this one. You want to do /give @s command _ block, and it'll give you this. If you take the cyan concrete, one of these middle two ones, doesn't matter which one, you're going to place a command block here just off of it. Go into it and change the needs redstone to always active, which is this redstone category. Change the block type to repeat. And in command input, you want to type the following. You're going to test4 as one word, in brackets, or no, not in brackets, sorry, @p, then in brackets, r equals, we'll say 3, which will look like that. That's how your command should be written. Then if you get out a random block and a comparator, you're going to place a random block off with a comparator leading out. And you see if I'm close to this, it will trigger. And you can actually break the floor up here and just kind of see like where it triggers and if you're happy with that. So like you see here as I walk up, it triggers there. So maybe I might want to switch that to 2. And you see it doesn't trigger, but as I hit the door, it will trigger. And I need to make sure that it triggers on the far side here, which it does, yeah. So you see it's triggering as I'm just throughout that. Now to actually make the teleport itself, you want to head back to the game station. And you're looking at this particular door right here, which doesn't have a window. Why does it not have a window? I don't know. But you want to basically break through it and stand right around here, and, you know, it doesn't matter which block particularly, but just kind of copy the coordinate. And here's the fun part. The rotation. So you kind of just have to guess, to be honest, at first. I do Control-Alt-C, but I would just write down the coordinate or, pop it in the chat and whatever. Just so you know it, but I'm going to put off of the comparator another command block there, which is going to be TP at P, copy that coordinate in, and then you want a number from 0 to 270. It wants to be either 0, 90, 180, or 270. I'm going to try 270. I don't know what the right number is. Hello? And so you see that is wrong. So it is, I'm one rotation too far right. Sorry. So I'm going to do one more left, which would be 180. And that should hopefully be correct. Unless I've made some catastrophic error, but I guess we'll find out pretty quickly. You could also do 360, but 360 is just 0, so that's kind of pointless. But and yeah, you see that is correct. I might... no, actually, never mind. It's just because that's not lined up. So yeah, that is that done. And once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 entirely complete in Minecraft. It has been like 4 years, not actually, but it is finally nice to be able to say that. Now, a couple things I want to talk about before we end. The train tunnel. I'm not going to do a tutorial on this, however, I will show it on the original build. Hey, there's me. There you see the texturing. Here's how everything kind of lined up. And I also have, you see, structure blocks there, trying to get it to line up. Yeah, that wasn't particularly happening. But if I head inside here, I'll kind of show you if you want to attempt to copy it, what the deal is with it. But I just don't think it's worth it because I didn't really make it accurate myself. So you see just kind of this continuing. And then it's got like a red trim inside here, and then it ends up splitting into 2 paths. So you can kind of see how I do the angles. It's very scuffed overall. One thing that I will, I guess, mention for doing like angles and stuff in Minecraft in general is wherever you have an angle, essentially this number of diagonals across should be less than the total number on a flat portion. So you see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say 4.5 since that one's like on the middle. And you see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not quite half, it's a little more than half. We can kind of play with it. You'll definitely notice if you do just the right or the same amount of diagonals that it looks too wide. So yeah, I would kind of play with it. And here's the sign design and everything. But yeah. As for a chapter 3 tutorial, I would like to do one at this point. Will it be anytime soon? No, absolutely not. I have other things that I'm trying to do first. But, I mean, maybe within a year I'd like to do one. I'm not really sure. But it would be split up like Security Breach, not quite as long between segments. It would be like, I would do the beginning segment and then maybe like a month break or something. Just so I can not do it as rapid fire as this one. Because this, I definitely had a couple moments where I was like almost burned out for it. But yeah, we're finally done. That feels very good. So next major tutorial you're going to see, well, actually you probably would have already started to see it, is Atrium. I guess that's for members specifically. You guys will be getting Atrium soon. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Finally.